Hello, my name is David. This group of work is called Amazonian Days. This is from a year of working at an Amazon warehouse. The work you see on the blue wall were gifts for me from Amazon. Like day by day, kind of like thank you for showing up. While the works on the white walls are like instances of happenings or things that I would take pictures of while working. A lot of times my shift was like from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. and I would pick up other ones along the day. So when it was like the trucks weren't showing up that time, things like that, that's when these little images would happen. Meanwhile, I was hired like in October, so I was hired like for the time I was going to be like about gifting season for the most part. And after that, December, January month timeline, work slowed down a lot. So they cut our hours from like 5 hour shifts to sometimes 3 hour shifts, which made the thing like, was it worth the drive? Was it not worth the drive? But they would always incentivize us with pizza, cupcakes, cake pop. So it seemed a little silly to me at the time because I was like, am I showing up for a cake pop? Um, but and then again, my shift was at night, so a lot of these things I wouldn't eat. I would take a picture of it and be like, Bezos does care, and kind of toss it in my fridge whenever I got home and go fall asleep. But it made for an interesting assortment of things altogether, and an interesting year. Um, Once they started cutting down the hours, I definitely had some other things going on while I was doing that, where other people, that was their livelihood, like their main source of income, which that in itself was just like it's a whole another deal. But yeah, that's where this body of work is from. If there's any questions about arrangement, things like that, I'm open to answer. Yeah.
I love how just laid bare it is, where it's they're exchanging this for your work instead of something else like money. Is this a thought you had going into it, or as it happened, as you spent more time there, you had the feeling, oh, I need to document this. I need to like what brought you to documenting it?
A lot of times because I wasn't gonna be I it was again late at night. I wasn't gonna be eating it, and a lot of times it was just me snapping a picture, be like, look at what they gave me. And at a certain point, I had a lot of them. And once I had enough, I like maybe these could work as like an artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where it was coming from.
Cool.
How'd you come up with this specific selection? Are these all the ones that you took photos of, or is there just a larger stash on your phone and you just picked some that stood out to you?
There's probably maybe a handful or more that didn't get documented or I couldn't recreate.
Mhm.
Um, because these were a lot of things that I could like throw into the fridge or keep on the shelf, things like that. Other times they would find me hungry and I would just eat it up. So and it'd be hard to recreate some like on Thanksgiving they give us egg rolls and rice, and I'm like a little tray of that, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm gonna draw that one, and I can't. Some of those I just never figured out. But yeah.
I really love these pieces. I think they're just so fun to look at and such an interesting story. And you mentioned, reference this body of work was so specific to your time at Amazon. I'm curious about what your other work typically looks like, and if you've are making kind of object food paintings regularly, or what your other pieces typically are.
Um, it it's not food related, but it is object related. Like, what do objects say to us in our daily lives? In certain instances, in undergrad, I was doing what like super doing a work of like objects that were superstitious. It was just what's going on in my life at the time.
So given that these pictures were outside of being in, going into work, it sounds like you work during the night shift. So is the white resemblance of like the piece, or did you go for white instead of black, like the dark, for a specific reason?
The walls themselves were very much these colors. Like our Amazon warehouses would have a very like big white walls. Where like this one in particular, it would it would have a really big window that I would literally see the sun rise, like from wherever I was at. The blue on this wall was taken from like the Amazon Prime trucks. That was like a close uh, resemblance of it. So that's where the colors are coming from.
So you kind of talked about the ones that you have grouped in the middle here as like these little rewards that you would kind of get as incentives to come into work. I'm sort of curious about the ones that are on the sides here, where they seem like almost more like, I don't know, documentation of the workspace like as it is, or there's definitely a different tone to the ones that you have on either side of these. So kind of curious about those.
I mean, there is a different tone to them, definitely, because again, they were trying to reward us and have a little playful nature about things. Like, whereas the other instances, like go to this station, stand there for so and so many amount of hours, and I mean, that was yeah. So the ones on the white walls are like the environment that was there. So one of them has like graffiti on it because people got bored and started drawing on things. There was one at the far end that has my self-portrait. That was me in the bathroom taking a picture because I wanted some points for wearing a certain shirt. So it's like the happenings during that time.
On these items that they gave you, did you ever feel like they made you feel better or angry, or was this just like mixed emotions sometimes?
For the most part, I thought it was silly. Like, like I could distance myself enough for it to be like it wasn't. I had other means of getting money, but I feel like if I was showing up for 3 hours and that was what I was counting on to pay my rent, that wouldn't have I would have a very different tone to that.
Okay. Well, thank you, David.